Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Wednesday morning. I had to check then, but yes, it's definitely Wednesday. And today we're going to talk about the Summer Wells case. I was actually going to talk about Brian Kohberger because he had a hearing. His defence wants to try to muddy the waters, but there was nothing new in that hearing. I know what the defence are trying. I know that people are going to believe what they're trying. But I think I said everything that I need to say for the moment over on my other channel, Michelle Walks. Last night I did a 1 hour, relatively short live. So if you want to hear my rants about Brian Kohberger's defence, who are getting on my last nerve, as are all of the people who are believing all the tricks that they're trying. Yeah, if you want to hear that, go over there. So today on this channel, we're talking about the Summer Wells case. Particularly, we're talking about Fred Hill. And we're going to discuss again the claims that he's made, because he's got himself into trouble. Alright, let's go. If you remember, a few days ago, Fred Hill, in a jailhouse conversation with Ziggy, really set the cat amongst the pigeons, naming a new name as a potential suspect. That he had information that it was Roy Cotton Simpson that took Summer. And he even was so bold as to say he knew where Summer's body was, because Cotton Simpson had told him. Look, I investigate any credible claim, because 2 years down the line we're still none the wiser into what happened to Summer Wells, who, of course, if you've been following the case, you will know she disappeared from outside of her home in the Beech Creek community of Hawkins County, East Tennessee, on the afternoon of June 15th, 2021. She was aged 5 years old at the time. So many people have been called suspects in the court of public opinion. Ronnie Lawson, Sheriff of Hawkins County, says everyone's still a suspect. Everyone's still a person of interest. No one has been cleared. So that means that Fred Hill himself is a suspect. And until a few days ago, I never considered Fred a suspect. I considered Fred to be a neighbour who, once approached by a YouTuber, this instant Ziggy, no one had been to talk to him before then, he told her a bunch of BS about deer bones, Rose Bly being a prostitute, about various things that simply cannot be true. And I discussed this in more detail in my video 2 days ago. But now he's named this person, Roy Cotton Simpson, who is dead, who died on the 14th of February of this year, 2023, from falling off a cliff. And this does indeed seem to be true. Various people have had some kind of correspondence with family members. Someone in my comments said this to me. Does that mean that he couldn't have done it because his family members and people that know him say that he wouldn't do this? He wouldn't take a little girl. He has no reason to take a little girl. You know, he was suffering in the last few, maybe months or even years of his life. He was suffering with alcohol problems. He wasn't well. Could he even have had the strength and the capacity to steal a little girl from her yard or from maybe a little bit further away from her home? Even if he had the motivation, did he have the physical capacity? I can't answer that. But I explore every, at least half credible thing that comes in to the community. Whoever it's said by, I look at it. And I can't completely 100% discount the possibility that Roy Cotton Simpson is the person who is responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells. All I can say is, on the balance of probability, what's the likelihood of this being true given the source? Given that this person who made this claim is Fred Hill. Is it possible that Fred knows this information, and he's known it since at least February, because Cotton's been dead since February? Yeah, it's possible. But what Fred has done is he's got himself into some real hot water in allowing himself to be recorded by Ziggy. And apparently it's against policy to record jailhouse calls. And Ziggy has been banned from contacting people in the jail. And Doug from No Thanks Investigates, I'll leave a link to the video below in the description box, rang up Hawkins County Jail, and it does indeed seem to be the case that Fred is being punished for this. That Fred has lost all his privileges and he's in solitary. He's in the hole. Yeah, that didn't work out too well for you, Fred. Now, look, listen, I said the other day, and I stand by this, that it was actually a smart move. If this turns out to be true, it is a smart move that he said this on a jailhouse call, because even if Ziggy hadn't have been recording him, the conversation was still recorded by the jail. And he knows full well, all prisoners know full well, whether they've been convicted or not, the jail calls and the virtual visits are recorded. If he believed it was true and he feared reprisals, then it's a smart move having that conversation recorded. However, if this is just another of Fred's half-baked notions, then it's a terrible thing. It's not only named a person who is not here anymore to defend himself, and it's caused his family some pain in even contemplating the possibility that their deceased family member was responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells. It's horrible for them. He's got himself into a whole bunch of hot water. If we are looking at Fred more closely now, you better believe that law enforcement have. So I think if Fred does have something to do with the disappearance of Summer, or he's involved somewhere in the setup, then he's in a whole bunch of trouble, because law enforcement have him right where they want him, and he's not going anywhere. And he's not going anywhere for a considerable amount of time. Look what happened to Adam Montgomery. Right? They got him on a small charge and kept him there whilst they completed their full investigation. Same with Jim Brenner in the Dylan Rounds case. Get him on something small and keep him there. And sooner or later, the evidence is sufficiently built that they can put a probable cause affidavit together, an arrest warrant. It's really made me think. It really has made me think about Fred Hill. People are also talking about Chad Arnold, who is the guy who allegedly saw Candice on the afternoon that Summer disappeared in Fred's driveway, after Fred had mysteriously gone to the store for 3 hours in that time period that Summer disappeared. That's suspicious in itself. I'm looking at that in a whole different way now. So some people are looking at Chad Arnold. Some people are speculating that Chad Arnold is a cousin of Roy Cotton Simpson. And he could well be. Roy Cotton Simpson's mother was an Arnold. That was her maiden name. And she has 2 brothers and 4 sisters. So Chad Arnold has got the Arnold name. So presumably Chad is the son of one of the brothers of Roy Cotton Simpson's mother. So it would make them cousins. Now, I can't find absolute confirmation that Chad Arnold is a cousin of Roy Cotton Simpson. I found the offspring of one of his brothers, a daughter, but I haven't found absolute confirmation that Chad Arnold is Roy Cotton Simpson's cousin. I'm not saying it's not out there. It's just that I've not come across it yet. So if anybody has got the absolute confirmation, let me know. Things like obituaries are good for this. Let me know if you've got proof of this. I have looked at Roy Cotton Simpson's ancestry and fit it into this vast family tree I've got now of the Beech Creekers. And it appears that Roy Cotton Simpson is a second cousin of William Gode. William Gode, of course, you will know, is Don Well's stepfather. He's the guy who owned the land that Don now lives on. He was the previous owner of 110 Ben Hill Road, the 11.2 acres. Second cousin once removed, I think. He's also related to the mayor of Beech Creek, distantly. I've also looked at his relationship to Fred Hill, and he is related to Fred Hill, but only very distantly, through the Crawfords. Now, there might be other more closer relationships between Roy Cotton Simpson and Fred Hill that I've not come across yet, because I'm kind of halfway through building this family tree. But what does it matter if Roy Cotton Simpson is related to other people in Beech Creek? They're all related, right? Yes, they are all related, or most of them are. Remember what I said months and months and months ago, well over a year ago now in fact, that when you've got these very close-knit communities, what you have is family ties and people who will hold secrets for other people. But you also have family feuds. Clearly, those things go on in Beech Creek just as they go on in any other part of the world where communities have been close-knit, and they've been close-knit for many years. Go and look at my old videos on this case and you'll see what I mean. Alright guys, just some thoughts this morning. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye guys.